So, this is my, what's his name? Nick Vujicic. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pronounce this guy's last name, but, this one and the story with, Jack Buck, these two, definitely top 5 most they're called motivational videos, but that's not the word I would use. I'm not saying they're not motivational. Perspective changing videos. I think the ability to put one's self in another person's position, situation, shoes, whatever you want to call it. It's very, very hard to do on an extremely serious level. I don't want to say something that's not true, but I'm like 76% sure that when I was in elementary school in Jefferson City, Nick came and talked to us. I could have sworn I remember sitting in the gym on the gym floor, listening to him talk. And I remember me crying in the gym floor. 76% sure this is him. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Nick. But in the first video, I know it's titled, or I don't know, I think it's in the title. It's not titled this, but attitude is everything. And I wouldn't consider myself a religious person. So I'm like in the video, in the 2 prison videos when he talks about, teaching the gospel, or, and just his story in general, it's powerful. And, while, his story and the fact that he, doesn't really have any arms or legs, a lot of the time, this is just my opinion, when I see people watching these videos, sometimes it's like, in the moment you can feel it, and you can think what it's like to be in that person's shoes, and get all these different perspectives, and then after it's over, it's out of your mind. It's like you never met the person. It's like you were never there in the first place. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but for those who walk away from the video, either watching it or being there in real time, and have that reflecting moment, is where, the success of these motivational videos comes from. And, my mom she's the very sentimental type. And I remember as a kid, whenever my mom, she would go running by our school, like, just, along the sidewalk for a couple miles down and back. Every day she didn't want to go. I remember she would tell me that, she's like, I don't want to go, but I am going to go. Because I know that there are people who can't walk, who don't have any legs. And just to sit there and think, if I didn't have legs, imagine how bad you would want to run. Like, imagine how bad you would want to run. And my dad, who's very much the opposite of my mom, he would say, whenever he would do a shoddy job on something, like, whatever it was, he would step back and say, a blind man would pay $1,000 to see that. And, we would laugh and chuckle, and, it's a little lighthearted fun or whatever. But as an adult, you kind of look back on those statements and you're like, that's true though. I'm sure, like, the most boring thing, like watching somebody do a high jump, a blind man would pay I can't imagine how much money just to be able to see it, you know? And it's that perspective of attitude that really sticks out to me with Nick in these videos. And it's like you would not be the same person, not even close, if you were born with no arms and no legs like Nick. And like as he says, you sit there and you think, man, like, you know, I can't skateboard, I can't ride a bike, I can't feed myself, like I can't grab a fork, and I can't grab a sword and swing it. I can't, like, all these I can't. And it's like, how do you find the light in situations like that? And Nick is, again, you know, no, I'm not the religious type, so, but I can see from his point of view, like, how he could save himself like that. And even, you know, leaving religion out of it completely, it's the ability to find that small light in such a seemingly dark tunnel is the most beautiful thing about people. I think the ability to the perseverance, the adversity, then overcoming it, the attitude. Like he says, the attitude is literally everything. My mom would say all the time, you know, it's only going to be a shitty day if you want it to be a shitty day. If you don't want to have a shitty day, then don't have a shitty day. It's all about attitude, and in my opinion, it's about perspective, and not necessarily your perspective. The ability to perceive others' perspectives. I think it just it's like, instead of just being able to look someone in the face, imagine if they had a mirror behind them on each side. You know what? I'm not really sure how that analogy works, but it's working in my head. But not getting me to cry on this one, but it was a really marvelous stuff.